Brzezińskiego.
Good morning. Thank you, Deputy Marshal Włodzimierz Czarzasty, for proposing this event and for inviting me. Thank you to the Bronisław Komorowski Institute and the Amicus Europae Foundation for organizing. It's a profound honor for me to be with you, standing alongside the founding fathers of Poland's NATO's membership. President Kwaśniewski, President Komorowski, Ambassador Brzeziński. It is you who we are celebrating on this occasion. Poland is safe. Polska jest bezpieczna and has become an integral part of our shared security because you knew the value of joining the most powerful collective defense organization in history. Statesmen, diplomats, esteemed members of the audience, all of you played a role and still do to this day. The solemn obligation NATO members make when they join the alliance doesn't just end when you're admitted. It takes constant work. It requires great sacrifice. President Joe Biden knew that Poland was up for this pledge. As a U.S. Senator, he led the fight for Poland's admission into NATO. Former United States Secretary of State Madeleine Albright did too. Her crowning diplomatic achievement was helping to bring Poland, the Czech Republic, and Hungary into NATO. Secretary Albright passed away a few months ago, but her legacy lives on through the alliance that she modernized and expanded. When Poland joined NATO over 2 decades ago, the challenges we faced were different. NATO has had to evolve to meet the threats of the 21st century. It's been Poland on the front line of these changes. In 2016, during NATO's Warsaw Summit, member countries responded to Russia's illegal annexation of Crimea by deploying 4 multinational combat battalions to Poland and the 3 Baltic states. This represented a shift from assurance to deterrence and defense, and some of the largest NATO deployments since the end of the Cold War. And when Russia began its brutal, full-scale further assault on Ukraine this past February, Poland, the United States, and individual member countries immediately responded by providing support that has fueled Ukraine's latest pushback against Russian forces. Last week, Ukrainians retook more than 6,000 square kilometers from Russia control in September. Putin's plan is failing. While we have done so much to support Ukraine, it's Poland that has been truly rising to the moment. Poland's rapid mobilization has inspired the world. When Poland and your people, the Polish people, what you have done is akin to America's response to the attack on Pearl Harbor, or it's akin to the Cold War era space race. It's reminiscent of the unstoppable spirit of brave Poles during the Warsaw Uprising and the Solidarity movement. When millions of people crossed the Polish borders, you welcomed refugees with open arms. You provided hope. You provided stability for Ukrainian families who had lost everything. And here is where the reaction of the Polish people I will try to place in a certain context and in a certain thesis. And I'll say it in Polish. Polska ma wiele mocnych stron, na przykład silna gospodarką, na przykład potencjał innowacyjności. Teraz zobaczyliśmy jeszcze, zdolność do szybkiej reakcji całego społeczeństwa i mobilizacja. To znaczy, czasami kryzys może opóźnić reakcję, ale nie w Polsce. Tutaj w lutym mogliśmy zobaczyć zdolność do szybkiej mobilizacji całego społeczeństwa. Ameryka miała podobne doświadczenia. Atak na Pearl Harbor zmobilizował Amerykanów do szybkiego działania w przemyśle wojskowym. Drugi przykład. Lot na Księżyc w 1969 roku, który spowodował ogromny rozwój technologiczny. Kryzys na Ukrainie spowodował ogromną mobilizację w Polsce. To daje nadzieję na głębokie zmiany. That is the context with which I am thinking about the rapid mobilization in Poland, and that's how we, the Americans, your special friends, are thinking about it increasingly. And it's Poland that continues to help the United States and our allies and partners in getting the supplies Ukraine desperately needs. Poland has also sent $1.8 billion in military aid to Ukraine. You've donated many tanks. You sent artillery and ammunition. Poland has become a military, economic, and humanitarian hub for Ukraine. And at the same time, Poland has been busy shoring up its defense modernization program in lightning fast speed. Billions of dollars, billions of your dollars, are being deployed to purchase trusted U.S. military equipment. Abrams tanks, Patriots, HIMARS, F-35s, the latest announcement last week, nearly 100 Apache helicopters. If Russian tanks threaten 1 inch of NATO territory, those Apache helicopters will stop them in their tracks. Apache helicopters are an armored vehicle's worst nightmare. They are tank killers. This equipment ensures US, Polish, and NATO troops can mesh and train together. It allows soldiers to work as one. Furthering that cooperation is the establishment of a permanent U.S. Forward Command headquarters in Poznan, appropriately named Camp Kościuszko. A first for the United States in Poland, a first for us in Central Europe. This is permanent. This is a historic tectonic shift. VCOR will coordinate all our land forces in Europe, bringing together any and all capabilities necessary to defend Poland and our NATO allies. Additionally, at the NATO summit in Madrid, President Biden announced more commitments to bolster European security. This includes establishment of a support army garrison headquarters in Poznan, along with a field support battalion in Powice, which will maintain U.S. Armored Brigade combat teams' equipment. All here on Polish territory on a permanent basis. And that's not all. Together, we are building more than 100 infrastructure projects, in Poland. These support U.S. troops rotating through Poland, provide additional locations to hold joint training exercises, and allow the United States and NATO to even more quickly flow forces to Poland in the event of a crisis. Poland also showed great foresight working to secure its energy security. The United States stands ready to be a secure supplier of civilian nuclear energy. By selecting U.S. technology, Poland would make another key strategic decision to safeguard its energy security for the century ahead. I tell you all this because of the message it sends, that we are together and that we are ready for anything. That is what General Milley conveyed in his interview in Poland yesterday. we are ready for anything here in Poland. When it comes to helping Ukraine defend itself, when it comes to making sure that there is significant pressure on Russia to end this aggression, we are united. It is our greatest strength. And the anchor for it all, those NATO accession talks 25 years ago. I lived here in Poland before Poland was a member of NATO. In the early 1990s, I was a Fulbright scholar in Warsaw. I remember how things felt back then, the anxiety, the uncertainty. That has changed. Poland is a case study for the benefits of NATO expansion. Poland today is not anxious or nervous. Poland is confident. Poland is secure because of NATO and because we stand together. An attack on one is an attack on all. Quite simply, we have each other's backs. And now Finland and Sweden, where I served as ambassador, will have the same reassurances. I lived in Stockholm for 4 years, where I had the honor to work with the Swedish government. What a historic shift. The fact that two traditionally non-allied countries have made the decision to join NATO speaks to the power of collective defense. In an almost unanimous vote, the Polish Sejm has backed NATO enlargement to include Finland and Sweden. The United States Senate has also overwhelmingly approved Finland's and Sweden's accession into NATO. Bipartisan support, in a day when disagreement and differences can be found at every turn in politics, shows that NATO is something we can all agree on. And just think, Putin thought he would divide us. Instead, we have never been more united. NATO is the cornerstone for it all. This brings to life the words of President Harry Truman, which he shared in 1949 when the organization was founded. He hoped that NATO would create a shield against aggression, and it has, because NATO's success is gauged not on wars won, but by wars that are prevented and stopped before they start. I can confidently say that 22 years ago, I can confidently say that in the 22 years that Poland has been a full member, you have met your obligations and more. It's no longer about Poland proving it belongs in NATO. Instead, that NATO wouldn't be what it is without Poland. That is what Jan Nowak-Jeziorański, that is what my late father, two warriors for Poland, who always had Poland as their North Star, fought for. Poland and NATO need each other. The United States of America and Poland need each other. I am working hard every day to ensure that we stay ever closer together. Thank you to the organizers of this conference for having me here today.
Thank you also, Mr. Ambassador, for